the time, it was a pain in the ass for us, but now looking back, I kind of miss it. Just not knowing where we were going to work the next day. Do you remember that? Do you remember
Yeah.
that we literally would, one day would be North Central, where we're just basically sneaking into the engineering hall or going to that Panera in the afternoon. One day with this other co-working spot, one day your sister's apartment. I kind of at the time we were just I all we could think about is we need an office that we could just go to, 4 or 5 days a week. And
Dude, I feel like we
now
overlooked that, like having this place. Like, it's crazy.
and now
Like,
and now looking back, it's kind of like, like it was kind of fun when it was unpredictable. Just getting the text from Collins the next day, this co-working spot's open, we're going to this one tomorrow. What's up? This is the My Player press conference, recording this right at the end of Q3. I'm Charlie. This is Will, founder, CEO of MyPlayer. Will, what's been the biggest thing you've learned? I know my answer. What's been the biggest thing you've learned Q3?
I say just right off the top of my head, the biggest thing that I've learned is one, everything is not forever. Like, stuff's gonna go wrong all the time, and we're gonna have to problem solve every day. And that's also my favorite part about the job. I love solving problems and working with you and Ford and the rest of the team and figuring stuff out. I think that's just kind of the athlete in me too, because every match is different for wrestling or anything like that. So just trying to relay that to sports and problem solving. I think that's been fun. What about you?
Dude, I feel like we don't know anything. Obviously, we know our stuff,
I
what
mean,
we
I
have
think we
to
know a
do
little bit. We know a little bit.
day to day, but just think about all of the predictions we've kind of gotten wrong compared to, I think the last time we recorded, we were thinking that NIL was going to be steadily increasing and next would be taking over. But really, with this back to school season, we've seen that this is the first time we're getting people just go on the site just to fill it out. I feel like NILs, because of the school year, maybe has taken off to, this is the most, we're about what, 30 minutes away from dropping the most NIL athletes that we have. I mean, doing 50 athletes in a day, that's probably been the biggest takeaway is that you just kind of got to roll with the punches with all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if I asked you like during that podcast, we'd be doing 50 a day in a month.
Yeah. I would have been like 25 NIL, 25 next maybe, but the fact that we're doing 50 just college today, it's pretty we wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of went with the momentum. Um, I mean, I think on the podcast we were saying how big it was going to be with like these next couple weeks. Like that was kind of most of the podcast was about. And then we said like how we met and everything. That was pretty much it. That was the whole podcast.
Yeah. And then since that pod, I don't know if we've got thousands of college athletes listening to the pod, but basically the most signups we've gotten in a month.
I got a question. I got a question. What do you think from an athlete's point of view, like they think my player is, like who we are, like the people making the merch?
Like, who do they think we are as people, or what do they think of
No,
my player?
like who do they think like what do they think goes into like what do they think goes into all this? Like do they think it's ran by like a bunch of I don't know, like a bunch of older people or younger people, or do they think it's like all designers? They even I don't know. Like who do they think they're talking to?
I think younger, but not as young as us. I think the people that don't know us, they'd probably guess 30 something year old might have played college sports, started an NIL company, but I don't think that our marketing's pretty Gen Z coded, but I don't think they're guessing 22, 22, 24. We'll turn 22 since the
Yeah, I'm
last
no
pod.
longer 20. It's not as cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's
You're not
not
the
as cool.
spry. Everything you do just gets less impressive now.
My
Just
rookie year is over. My rookie
as
year
every
is
birthday
over.
goes by. But yeah, 22, 24. I don't think people are guessing that. I mean, you could literally still be in school, and if you look at our marketing material, that's not what comes off.
Yeah, or the interns are just all doing that. The younger interns.
What do you think?
I mean, I think they know like I mean, some athletes obviously know us. Like a lot of our athletes, like they know me or they know, um, like maybe they know you or like they know certain people, probably only a small amount. But I don't know. I bet they don't even think about it. I bet they think like as long as they do a good job and they communicate with me, I don't think they really think about it. If I'm being honest.
We talked about that a little bit, is that I don't know anybody that works at Under Armour.
Well, I mean, I do. I feel like, but the only reason is because like that's what I'm into. Like I look into that stuff, so I feel like nobody's really gonna
But
look into like
personally, do you know somebody that works at Under Armour?
personally. No, no. But like I don't know anybody personally works at any like big company besides like a couple. But like that seems like a stretch.
I do think ours is a little different too because of the custom nature. That since we're going back and forth with the athletes on designs, there might be a relationship that's formed there, but for the most part, I wouldn't guess. I don't think they're guessing our age.
No, no. I mean, even the age. I was more thinking like I don't know. I mean, you like they see that like I get texts all the time from athletes like you guys are dropping a lot more. Like there's a lot more. Like I feel like they are noticing that, and like Malik's always like, oh, you guys are trending up. Like this is sick to see. But I don't think they really kind of think about the whole process or anything like that.
The video game tournament, I was thinking a lot about that because it's
That
always
feels
like
like years ago, dude.
the 1 year anniversaries were coming up in that late July, early August. And also Justice Haynes is balling
Yeah,
on
that's
Michigan.
crazy.
He's one of the best RBs in the country. And having him just I can't believe we were able to get him on a Twitch stream. Like I don't know if he's still doing that this year, but
I don't know. I mean, he
getting his
would if
shine on
like
now.
we hit him back up. I don't know if he would if this
He
was
was
the first
awesome.
time.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
he
what I'm
was a
saying.
really good guy. Yeah, he was a really cool guy.
That's what I'm saying. But a first time reach out that I think the NIL money he's getting is different
The
from
play
maybe
check. I mean,
from maybe
the
last
tournament
year.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think also like in NF or like a Michigan starting running back or like an Alabama starting running back, even though they were making a lot last year, they're making way more this year. I mean, it just keeps going up, and the amount of opportunities is just going crazy.
One of the things I loved about the tournament is it was just guys that wanted to have fun. It was just guys that heard $3,000 and wanted to see, wanted to play somebody else in a video game that was coming out for the first time.
First impressions. I would say I didn't make the best first impression. I would say that. You you reached out to me on LinkedIn, and at the time, I did not. I was not into LinkedIn. Like I thought it was like for like older people. It was like, I was just trying to make graphics. I was just trying to like get this thing booming as much as possible. I'd throw like graphics on there and stuff. If you look at my LinkedIn, it's like I think that's probably how you found me. Like I just posted about it. Like, hey, we now have 100 athletes. Like here's what we've been doing. Like that's the only reason I'd use it for. And I think you reached out and I didn't respond for like a month. And
Well,
then,
you remember why I reached out?
well,
I
yes,
remember why I
but
reached out.
that's not why I responded though. Like I didn't respond because we needed graphic designers. I was
Mm.
doing the graphic design. We didn't need a graphic designer. That was the
No,
last thing
you
we
were
needed.
hiring. You guys were hiring.
Right, but and then you gave me what was his name?
I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say his
Okay,
name.
okay. No, he was a great guy though. He was just he wasn't doing the same thing that we were doing. He
No,
was totally
I know.
different. He
Yeah.
was website. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say his name. But that was my first impression was that, and then I was at first I looked at your guys' website. I've said this to you before. I would say this to your face, but the website was terrible. Like I was like, this is awful. Like I don't know if I should be talking to this guy. But then I realized you were good at all the things that I wasn't very good at. So like I was all about design then. Like that was it. And I saw that you were very passionate about it too. So I was like, let's just talk to this guy, see what happens. And then I think we talked and then we got food like a week. I don't know, we like went and got food or something. But I don't
Yeah.
think anybody knows, even like people I talk to, like friends, they like have no idea that you just hit me up on LinkedIn.
They just assume we know each other because we lived close.
Right, right. Yeah.
Since you're close, they just think, oh, this is one of your buddies that
Yeah.
you started
What
this
about
with.
you?
So I looked at the wrestling resume and I was like, okay, college athlete, state qualifier, right?
It's more than that, but we'll take it.
Okay. So, and then obviously, your website was a lot cooler looking than the PlayCheck website, and I've seen the designs. I remember the first time we talked, I was telling my parents, like, I'm so jealous of this business. They don't even touch the merch. It's Will making these designs, putting it on the site, and reaching out to athletes, and it's just so cool. It's everything I wanted. I'm on the PlayCheck side. I'm reaching out to college admissions, or sorry, not
Yeah.
college admissions, college athletics departments, trying to get calls with assistant ADs and just grinding my way into meetings, emails, people delaying me because they don't know what's going to happen with the revenue share, all the stuff that's come out over, the last year. People didn't know what was going to happen with the future of NIL and how they're going to pay players directly through the school. So all of them were getting geared up for that. So me pitching them on the idea that you're going to pay me to help your athletes sign NIL deals and also be kind of like a professional development guy agency. That wasn't really flying at the time. So I remember just thinking, this is really cool. Obviously, super talented designer, but didn't know much about you outside of that. And then, yeah, you're right. One thing led to another, and got done with the tournament. Wasn't exactly the biggest athlete sign up
It was
channel
the
that
worst. It was the
it was.
worst.
It wasn't exactly the biggest athlete sign up channel my players had, but I think I would say it worked out. Yeah.
No, I think I learned a very valuable lesson that sometimes in deals you're not going to get money out of it, but you will eventually. It just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Something else might come out of it. But one thing I left out was like I was like kind of underwater at the time. Um, Co-founder was going back to school and I wasn't, and I really like had nobody. And I remember like every night I'd be like, Mom, like I need to find a team. Like I gotta find a team. I need to find people. Like I don't want to let this go. Like I have to find someone to help me do this, or I have to go back to school. And like that was like not what I want to do. And you can ask her. Like she would say that every night. That's all I would say. Then like you and Chuck or you and Ford started, and then Jackson, and then a couple other people, and she was like, "Look at you now! Like that was your biggest problem. Now there's no excuse. You got to go run with this thing." So yeah, I mean, I totally forgot about that. Honestly, like, it just seems so long ago. It's weird.
I got a question. Were you ever considering going back to school? Because I remember that it was kind of a touchy topic when I first brought it up because we didn't know each other that well at the
Yeah,
time. But I
yeah.
remember you weren't really showing your cards, but I could tell that you're kind of in between. Was it always like actually in between, or were you always one foot out? I'm not even considering going back.
It, yeah,
This is it.
I kind of I wanted to make it seem like it was a very difficult decision. You know, I feel like for my parents and like my friends, I don't know, it felt like I had no choice. Like there was no shot I could go back to school. Like, I mean, I think I remember sitting there at the booth, you asked me, and I was like, oh, I'm like hesitant. But the only reason I was hesitant on it, and maybe he'll listen to this, but was because of like Zaman and Cook at North Central. Like the only thing that was hesitant on it, probably not the best answer. It was not school. It was not anything like that. It was just for wrestling. Like I had committed to them that I was gonna wrestle that year, and that was the only thing that I was really struggling with. And then our coach ended up going to another school, and I didn't really know what was going to happen there. So that made the decision like 100%. And that I think it happened like the day that I like decided to not go back. That all happened. So the timing was just really crazy on that.
Wait, so it was sorry, Zaman's the coach.
Same as the coach now. And funny enough, like we're gonna be working with them. We're gonna get on a podcast with them. I think next week with him and Chip, who Chip's going for his senior campaign national championship, and we've done two collections for him now. Like one of the most dedicated, hardworking dudes I've ever met. I wasn't super like close with him, but like he would. I mean, he's a dog. Like I'm very excited to watch him this season and get him on the podcast.
Was Zaman not the coach when you
No, so,
committed originally?
no. When I was there, this is a little touchy subject. I don't really want to get into that much. Cheruby's gonna get mad, but um, when I was there, Cook was the head coach, and um, during this summer when I was going to come back or decide if I was going to go back to school or not, he left for another school. It was his alma mater, and it was I mean, it was obviously a tough decision for him, but I think it was kind of something he always wanted to do. So I didn't see it coming though. Nobody saw it coming, and then that made the decision a little bit easier. And I didn't know Zaman was going to become the coach either. He was the assistant
Got it.
coach. He was
Got it.
assistant, and
Got it.
at the time, like Zaman was like super young. Like he wrestled like during COVID. Like he's only like 4 years, 3 or 4 years out of college, and the fact that he's already taken the program to another level and he's full time, it's crazy like how much he's balling right now. So it's I'm very excited to see that.
That's cool. So there, it was empty. The seat was empty when.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I was like, this made it a lot easier. I didn't really feel as bad, or I didn't really like feel because that was the biggest reason. I was like, I committed to him. I said I would, and then he ended up leaving.
Yeah, I never actually knew. That's crazy. I didn't actually know
Yeah,
that whole
no.
timeline.
I feel like I kept a lot of this under wraps because I wanted to make it seem like it was a very tough decision, but at the time, like, dude, there's no way I was letting this go like another semester at school, like trying to do it at school. There was no shot. And the whole summer made it easier, like working with my buddies on it. It made it feel a little bit more like it wasn't just me. And
We'll talk about
yeah,
when you started it when Thanksgiving break or the Christmas break when you were because you were still in school at the time. So how are you
dude,
managing?
this is like digging into my brain.
How are you managing both?
Well, when it first originally started, I had came from Ohio and I was going to Oakton, like community college, and I was like, Oakton's a great school, but at the time it was like, Division 1 wrestling. Now I'm going to Oakton. Like I was kind of embarrassed about it, so like I had to find a way. Looking back at it, like I was such an idiot for being embarrassed about it, but like I had to find a way to do something that like I don't know, like meant something, like it actually mattered. So um, I thought of like a billion different ideas, and the thing that my player came from, if you go look at like the website right now, if you go to like our or like some settings, and there's some places that it'll say my player art, like the original name is my player art, and I was doing like phone cases for like NBA players. And then if you go look at like all of our domains that bought, there's like so many random domains. Like I was just trying anything. I just wanted to like do something that um I could put graphics into or like build a website or do something. And then I just called a bunch of my buddies and I was like, what if I like did merch for you guys? I like wrestlers don't have merch. What if I did merch? And they were like I don't like I remember Mason when my roommate in Ohio or he was like, nah, like I mean you could try it, but it'll be cool. I tried it, and then obviously we know where it took us. But the first couple athletes, those are just dudes I was like begging to like put their face on a shirt. I was in school, but like I was online. Like I did not care. I mean, I cared about school. It was probably the best GPA I ever had because I was online. But I just didn't. I was so focused on like doing something else besides Oakton Community College because I couldn't wrestle. I was just like working out, and then the graphics led to another. And but at the time, like Keegan and I, we would like it was like all day. It was literally all day. There was like we'd miss dinner every day. Like my parents would be so mad. Like it was just this all day on my phone because we didn't have no like automations. There was no layouts. There was no verifies. It was just make the graphic on my phone and then airdrop it to Keegan if he was next to me or just like text it to him. And that was it. Like that was every single day for like 12 hours a day. But I would never have been able to do that if I didn't, leave Ohio and was going to community college. Like I would never have had that mindset to like just like screw it. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question. What was like your initial like thoughts behind like when we or like when did you realize like I know you realized it was like legit right off the bat, but like when did it kind of hit you that this was it, like this was going somewhere?
Ooh. So I was always pretty bullish on just the idea alone without even knowing any of the numbers and stuff. Obviously, famously, my first Friday here, I mean, famously within the company, but my first Friday at my player, we still dropped people, but we made $0 in revenue on my first Friday. You'd been making money up to that, but there was a little delay in drops. We dropped that week, Monday through Thursday. We dropped Friday. we made $0 in sales for the entire day, which hasn't happened since. And I remember that was the first time I was always confident in my player until then. That's the only time I had second doubts. And I had second doubts because I was just thinking, was this just a trend? Was this just a cool trend that Will was doing for some of his wrestling buddies, and that it kind of played itself out already. I remember that was a long weekend. That first Friday, you're telling people about the new job, what's going on, new business. Yeah, last one wasn't so great. This one's gonna be great. And then that first Friday hits, and you pull a donut for the entire day, right? That
Yeah,
was
it
that
was
was
not a
that
great
was
look.
that was tricky for me. But then when we just came back, we started hitting sales that weekend. The next week, just seeing everything stack up and up, and obviously the design's getting better in the entire process. I just always thought with this team, we're just working too hard for this to not. It's working too hard to fail at this point, right? We're working too hard to fail at this level. It's going to take a couple more levels for us to run out, but that's kind of the answer is that I was always confident on it, except then.
Oh, that's a good answer. I Yeah, it's crazy to think about that zero sales day. I can't even imagine that. I mean, if it happened now. But um, all right, my part two question then is: once you kind of realized it was going crazy and we were growing, obviously we weren't doing anything crazy, but we all saw the potential of it. Um, and then we get Ford on here. I'll explain it more. But what was kind of the what I mean, it might just be your personality, and I think it is. But what was some of the things that made it a lot easier to work, like how hard we did during those days where maybe we were doing numbers, but they weren't crazy, or signs were lower, or we weren't, we were working out in North Central. Like, what made you drive an hour to North Central every day? Like, did anything go into that, or was that just kind of who you are?
I feel like we all have a chip on our shoulders. That was one of the things that I mean, I knew about myself, I knew about Ford. I found out about you, just the chip on the shoulder with the entire team. Just having something to prove, especially when like the last one doesn't go as you had hoped, obviously. And it was just something that it was almost like there wasn't a choice a lot of days, right? Like you're just getting off the ground, you're just trying to survive, you're just trying to scrap. There's really not much of a choice at that point. That's where it's like failure is a lot harder to or a lot easier to handle than success. I I understand. I understand that now because there wasn't really a choice back then.
I think obviously having people around me to help me through this has been the number one thing. Definitely would not be here by myself. So that's the number one thing. If you're going to start a company, you got to find people that you can trust and people that want to grind. Like, that's it. You just got to put your head down and grind. But like, I think a lie I told myself when um early on was like, it's something that I try to do, but like the balance of running the company and doing it, and then also like your other life. I think people like, it's important. Like, you want to have your balance of your personal life, your family, social. But I learned quickly that like that just doesn't exist. Like, if you want to really take this thing to the next level, you have to make your balance like whatever you want in your future, like whatever your main goal is, like that is the balance. Like, once you get there, that's kind of where um kind of how I put my mindset in. And it's very hard to have balance. I If you don't love the company you started, you don't like love every day, then it will be impossible. Literally impossible. There's definitely days that I don't like. There's definitely a lot of hard things, but I love it. Like, I really couldn't think of like, it's crazy, but a year ago I would be able to think of a million other things I could do, and I'd have a list of like all my like crazy things that I want to do in the future. But now it's like I still have that list, but it's very hard to like look at all those things just because of like the opportunity we have with this and how much fun I have doing it. I think that's kind of the lie I told myself in the beginning was like, find the balance. You can go hang out with friends, you can, go do all this stuff, which I think most people do that. They can do it, but for me, it was like I had to get in the mindset of like, you got to get this stuff done, and that other stuff will come eventually. And it has. I definitely feel like it has already. But I don't know, Chuck. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with the work life balance thing.
It's
We
not. Yeah, it's
definitely
not really
we
real.
well we definitely have it. It's just spread out more, right? Like
Yeah,
we want to work hard this decade so we don't have to work as hard when we're 40 and 50, right? So it's just the one side is just the balance just takes time to balance out, right? Or even, my faith's pretty important to me. I know yours is to you. Just taking Sundays off and not really doing anything. I don't Monday through Saturday, my player is always top of mind. Sunday, it's just not. Sunday's the day, go to church. I do Sunday soccer, or even having other hobbies, MMA, chess helps.
that's a good point. Yeah, balance is
That,
different. It's
that
different than
we can have hobbies still. If we know that it's not helping us out or it's not going to help re-energize us or make us healthier, that's the thing. You have to be way more cutthroat with that, right? And we both turned down we both turned down social opportunities that are out there a bunch, especially over the last year, especially last year more than this year. But I think it balances out. It just takes a lot more time to balance out in the end. Hopefully at age 50 we can just we can just do whatever we want. Oh,
yeah.
that's
I
kind of
wonder
that's
if we
kind of
get
the
to
goal.
that point though, and it's like we still want to just keep grinding. I don't know.
We're never gonna want to do what we were doing last year though.
No, no, definitely not.
I'll always
I
want to
wouldn't have a
work. Like
thumb. I would have no thumbs. They would not
right, I,
work.
I don't want to retire, but
Right.
we're not gonna be screen slaving like we are
That's why I'm
over the
really
last
interested
year.
to like talk to Render on one of these and just think about like when he was like younger, like was it the same? Like I just genuinely want to know. That's why I'm interested about that. I still want to ask my follow up question though from the last one.
Okay.
I don't know, it might take a minute, maybe you have it top of the head, but it'll help you out tomorrow when we're doing it. But like best story or like best memory from like the North Central days or like the um Windy City co-working place or working out of like Abby's apartment or in my garage. Like what was the best? You had to be there. You got to hear this. It's rough. It's a tough question. It's a very tough question.
Dude, I don't know if there's one story though. Like we could talk about the North Central Wrestling Day where we got to watch JRB. That was a super fun day. I think one thing, I don't know, it's not an exact story, but one thing that's worth mentioning, and at the time it was a pain in the ass for us, but now looking back, I kind of miss it. Just not knowing where we were going to work the next day. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Do you remember
Yeah.
that we literally would one day would be North Central, where we're just basically sneaking into the engineering hall or going to that Panera in the afternoon. One day with this other co-working spot. One day your sister's apartment. I kind of at the time we were just I all we could think about is we need an office that we could just go to, 4 or 5 days a week. And
Dude, I feel like we
now
overlooked that, like having this place. Like, it's crazy.
and now
Like,
and now looking back, it's kind of like, huh, like it was kind of fun when it was unpredictable. Just getting the text from Collins the next day, this co-working spot's open. We're going to this one tomorrow. So I think that's kind of a macro
no, I like
story.
it. I like it.
But
But
that's one thing I do miss, and it talks about the overall early grind is that we literally did not know we would be dropping one day and not know where we would be dropping the next day.
I feel like we would not be here today. And I always wanted for us to be in person. Like, I just didn't want this to be like a Zoom or like a remote company. Like, and I was shocked that you guys even would do it. Like, we were driving like hour and a half every day to like a random spot or like hour a day. And it was like, there weren't a lot of like, this drive sucks. Like, I don't think we ever really said that. It was more like, "Ah, this takes me a long time to get here. Like, now I wasted an hour." So that was it. And it's crazy to look back on. Sometimes I just forget about that.
Yeah.
If we were going to do another podcast in a month, what is kind of your predictions like we did for that last podcast?
Ooh, good one.
See
I
if you're
like
right or
that. I
wrong.
like this question. Okay, so a month from now, it's going to be October 24th. We're going to be firing up on winter sports for NIL. Black Friday, Cyber Monday is going to be kind of around the corner. People are going to start buying for holiday shopping. Could be our biggest time of the year. I think we're going to be looking at, I think October is going to be my player's biggest month to date, is my prediction. And I think that November will top that. That's my prediction. So we'll be chasing the record. We'll be chasing the revenue record
Yeah.
in October, and then we'll be getting ready for November, where just winter sports, end of fall sports, holiday shopping season. That's my prediction.
Okay. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing because last time we were way off, but I hope that we're not way off this time. I was kind of hoping you would say like we're doing terrible because then we're gonna be up. But I'd say for me, obviously I would agree with both those. I think even I mean I agree with all that. I really have no doubt, especially with what we've been doing these last couple weeks in the team and what we've been grinding on. But I feel like there's gonna be a big change in just the brand. I think something's just gonna happen. I think in a good way. I think we're gonna either you know, do something for like an entire team, whether it's a big team, like a big sport or small sport. I think we're just gonna something's crazy is gonna happen on the athlete side, on like the sign up side. I think that's the biggest thing that I see happening in like October or November. Um, I don't know if it's like doing something with an entire team and it blows up or um, just taking over a whole sport. Like I think there's just gonna be something on that side that takes off. That's what I see. But
I see a few more celebrity
yeah, I didn't
pictures in
want to
our
say
future
that.
too.
I didn't want to say that, but like definitely, I didn't want to say that. But
I'm seeing a couple celebrity pictures in the near future.
oh no, I was saying maybe some big signups, like some
Well,
bigger
that
athletes.
too,
But
but
yeah,
I'm talking celebrities wearing a college
I
athlete's
mean, I think
that
we've
they
had a
support.
couple. Maybe we name drop right now, see if they see
Now,
the podcast.
I'm seeing more in the future.
All right, no name. You don't want to name drop any. See if they like it.
Mark Henry, world's strongest man. If he's
No, he
listening,
he
we
was
got a
old. He
cool,
was awesome. He was super cool.
we got
I
a
was
we
gonna
got a cool
say,
picture with him.
yeah. I mean, Eugene Hilton was fun to work with, and obviously T.Y. Hilton's son. But it's fun. You would think most of these bigger athletes with like bigger parents, they wouldn't be as like cool or as like chill and just, but they are. They're very just like another athlete. All right. Well, that's all we got. That was fun.